Now, despite Dr. Now usually having the patience of a saint, there have been times patients have tested him and he has totally shut them down with some brutal comebacks. From forcing patients to look themselves in the mirror to shouting at them for wasting his time. These are the most savage Dr. Now moments ever in my £600 life. And we start with Joyce from season 8, who made excuse after excuse for not losing weight before Dr. Now finally had enough of her. Joyce was someone who you'd think would move mountains in order to lose weight, after she revealed she hadn't left the house in over 3 years.
When I wake up in the morning, my first thoughts are a combination of disgust at how my life is now, and shock that I was even able to make it to another day.
It's pretty shocking to listen to someone be surprised they survived the night, and it's even more shocking that the first thing she wants when she wakes up is food. Because she lives in Kansas, she needs to travel through the night to get to Dr. Now's office in Houston, and her condition when she gets there is pretty concerning, but she only has one thing on her mind.
The good news is you don't sound like you're in any sort of restaurant failure right now. Any other issues bothering you?
Yeah, I'm a little hungry. I didn't eat all day.
Well, don't worry. You have eaten the food that belongs to next 3 years ahead of time, okay?
Maybe more than 3 years, Dr. Now.
All right. You know that, right?
Yes, I do.
Well, but we'll get you something, okay?
Dr. Now is straight at the point with shutting her down, and although he's laughing along with her, he is serious, and she's probably eaten 20 times more each day than she should have been. And it's no laughing matter how close to death she is. So, Dr. Now gives her the goal of not only losing weight, but also to move around. However, 2 months into the program, Joyce has made no progress, much to the concern of Dr. Now.
Good, how are you?
I'm doing okay. So you're still not doing everything you need with physical therapy. Why is that?
I really am trying, but my breathing is still a struggle. And sometimes with physical therapy, it gets a little,
Get short-winded? We're getting you to lose weight and address that. But you have to cooperate with us to do your exercises so we can make the same progress with your stamina that we have made with your weight.
I really am trying, Dr. Now.
Despite Joyce claiming that she really is trying, this will be disproven very quickly. As the months roll by, despite losing £200 in hospital, everything changes when she gets back home, and she misses her scheduled appointment with Dr. Now because she can barely leave the house.
So what's going on for you to miss your appointment?
I've had some transportation issues, as you know. So I've been trying to figure out how to get there. I did look into an ambulance, but it was just too expensive for me to afford to go that way.
Joyce should have lost enough weight to be able to get to Dr. Now in a normal car without the need of an ambulance. Obviously, she hasn't lost weight and has a pretty sorry excuse for why she's not doing so, which Dr. Now isn't having any of.
So what's going on with your eating habit?
I am still following the calories, but I think I'm gonna have to take in a lot less calories than 1,200 to make any difference.
You're eating too much. You're eating 5 to 6 times what you should be right now, and that food is more important than saving your life.
No, it's not. It's been a struggle for me to figure out how many calories I need to get it off faster. I mean, all home cooked, low fat, low carb, high protein food.
Low fat, low carb, by now you should have lost something, but that's clearly not the case because you look like you have gained.
No, that's not true. I have lost weight because I can feel it in a lot of ways. My clothes fit better and it's easier for me to sit up than it was when I left the hospital.
Dr. Now's glare at Joyce as she tries to lie directly to his face is amazing because he knows that she is literally just blabbering on and blaming everyone but herself. And Dr. Now is about to quickly shut her down as she makes an absolutely outrageous claim.
So I know I'm making progress, but I may not have lost the amount of weight that I should be losing. But that's because I think the diet is wrong and 1,200 calories is still too much for me.
Joyce, you're delusional if you believe that. You think you're doing okay because you feel like your clothes are baggy. I can see you right now, and I can tell you have gained. The only question is how much, and that's why it's important we see you immediately.
But after calling Joyce delusional straight to her face, Dr. Now calls her in for an appointment within 48 hours. Otherwise, she's kicked off the program. And when Joyce does make it to the office, she will have probably wished she stayed at home. Joyce weighs in at £611, which is a weight gain of £58. And after giving her one more chance to lose weight, which she fails at, he kicks her off the program for good. Now, although Joyce was delusional, the next patient was downright disgusting, as Stephen Asante was firmly put in his place by Dr. Now. Dr. Now has had countless run-ins with Stephen, who is by far and away the most infamous person to ever feature in my £600 life, from telling him that people are throwing up because he smells so bad.
What is going on with your personal hygiene? You heard of something called soap and water?
Yeah,
I have a couple of people back there puking from the smell that you have.
And even calling the police on Stephen after he was acting like a massive baby in hospital.
What are they doing? They calling the ambulance?
No, the ambulance isn't authorized to take you home.
So who's gonna take me home?
I don't know.
So what do I gotta do? This is gonna be another story in the press? I am already in the press. So if I call and tell them what's going on right now, it's gonna be a whole nother story in the news that's gonna be worldwide, guaranteed. I want the news number now, because I'm not gonna be stuck here. They're gonna threaten me and tell me the ambulance is not authorized to pick me up.
Can we shut that door?
I want the number then.
See, do you want to go to jail?
No, sir. But they
I'm going to put you in jail if you raise your voice for me and in here. If you don't behave, call the police department. Get the security down here.
I'm not entirely sure why Stephen even joined the program, to be honest. He made zero effort throughout his entire journey and was enabled throughout by his father. But one of Dr. Now's best moments came from a place of real concern, after Dr. Now forced Stephen to stop playing the clown and made him look at himself in the mirror, even comparing him to a zoo animal. Before that though, Dr. Now confronts Stephen about his drug abuse after he revealed how many prescriptions of strong painkillers he'd received.
Let me just give you something. This is a prescription monitoring program with state of Texas. You receive 39 prescriptions from 17 different doctors. And that ring a bell?
Well, obviously I can see it on the paper. It can't be a lie.
Then you go to the next page. You have received Tylenol and codeine, 259 tablets. You have received tramadol, 1,045 tablets. Hydrocodone, 970 tablets. In the state of Texas, if you have prescription from any other doctor than one doctor, we are not allowed to prescribe a pain medication. So this is the end of it. You have exhausted lifetime hospital privileges to be admitted. So your days of abusing system are over.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. I want to leave.
So after Dr. Now shone a light on Stephen's drug addiction, which led to Stephen clearly being upset and wanting to leave, he wasn't done yet and refused to let Stephen leave before forcing him to look at what he'd done to himself.
I'm gonna leave.
No.
I feel uncomfortable.
I feel uncomfortable. I want you to come with me. Let's go down the hall.
Where?
Just walk with me. I'm going to show you something.
Okay. Make me walk.
Now, stand over here and look at that mirror.
Why?
Look at yourself. Look at what you have done to your body. Tell me, what do you see?
A big failure?
You're not looking at yourself. Come on. Keep looking at yourself.
Okay.
You see yourself there?
Can I step away from the mirror?
You had enough? You look enough at yourself? You see what you really need to see?
Yeah, I don't want to look anymore.
Look at your body. Look at your stomach. When you came, it wasn't hanging that far. Now it's hanging all down. Look at your legs, swollen, red, lymphedema in both of them. Look like an elephant's leg. It doesn't look human anymore because what you have done.
Dr. Now comparing Stephen's leg to an elephant's is harsh, but it is shockingly accurate. Stephen literally looks like he's on the verge of tears as Dr. Now is tearing into him and telling him, body part by body part, how he is destroying his body. And the best part of it is that he's 100% correct too, and is just trying to wake Stephen up to the damage he's doing. And surprisingly, this sort of works, because Stephen immediately goes home and pours out all of his sugary drinks from the fridge. However, this motivation doesn't last long, as Stephen's story fails miserably, as he consistently fails to lose any weight and gets kicked off the program for good. This was similar to Angela too, who also got kicked off the program, and Dr. Now called her delusional straight to her face. Angela's story is one of the most frustrating and annoying to watch in the series, just because of how deluded she is and how deeply set in the victim mentality she is. She starts out in Ohio, with her weight unknown and needing an oxygen tube 24/7 because she feels like she will suffocate without it. The first thing we hear her say in her episode is her shifting the blame of her weight onto someone else, which really sets the tone of how the rest of her episode goes.
When I first open my eyes, the very first thing I think of every single morning is, why, God? There's got to be a reason for him doing this, keeping me going, because every single day of my life is an absolute nightmare.
Thankfully, she can look after herself and her young cousin, who Angela supposedly looks after, doesn't have to take care of her yet. Angela consistently claims that she can't do anything about her weight and questions why God has put her in this position. Again, just showing the victim mentality that she lives in. Unfortunately, God isn't going to save her, but she will get the next best thing, as Dr. Now is going to try and save her from eating herself to death before it's too late. But Angela's attitude throughout shows that she maybe doesn't want to be saved. On the way to see Dr. Now, when she's literally 2 hours away, Angela stops through a drive-thru, which isn't exactly the best thing to do when you're about to be weighed in. Angela estimates she's around 550 pounds, but she gets a massive shock when she sees her real weight.
And I'm about to find out what I weighed. I just hope it's not a huge number. I'm shocked. I am very surprised. No human being should weigh 600 pounds. And I'm over it. It absolutely scares me to death.
And there's another massive shock to come, as Dr. Now reveals that Angela has already had weight loss surgery before, which she just ate straight through, and the doctor isn't happy with her excuses.
You already had weight loss surgery in 2002?
Yes, sir.
And at that time, how much you weighed?
It was up to 375 and I lost 100 pounds.
You were 375?
Yes.
Well, you obviously started to gain again. But this time, you passed 375, you didn't stop there, you go all the way to over 600 pounds. So,
Unfortunately.
how did that happen? Tell me what's going on with your eating habits.
Just eating. Just I eat and basically, I think feeling sorry for myself because I can't move around. I used lymphedema as an excuse on my leg. So when I started not moving around, I just eat. And I eat the wrong stuff, and I eat a lot of it.
So you just like eating a lot, feel sorry for yourself, and can't move. 3 different excuses that all have nothing to do with why you're over 600 pounds. Especially since lymphedema doesn't develop until you already gain significant amount of weight. So none of that make any sense.
But obviously the doctor is willing to give her a chance to have surgery again, because he took her as a patient. But Angela, once again, makes every excuse under the sun.
When I got that surgery, I had so many life changes happen. My husband leave me. I lost all that weight and all of a sudden people paying attention to me. I was running a business. In 1 year, I was bombarded. And basically, I didn't have no control.
This is just more excuses because you're saying you went back to overeating because life got hard and stressful. That's never gonna change. That's part of life. So I still have the same question. What's going to be any different this time if you have weight loss surgery?
Obviously, Dr. Now shut her down again, but the meeting at least finishes with a positive. Dr. Now tells her to lose weight to save her life, putting her on a 1200 calorie diet and telling her to exercise for 1 hour a day, with the ultimate goal of losing 40 pounds in 2 months. And I can't lie, this is a really easy goal, but it seems like the doctor knows how tough it's going to be for Angela to change her attitude. She travels home to Ohio to start her diet. However, she misses her first appointment, giving the excuse that she doesn't want to travel and be away from her family. But I think we all know the real reason. She tells the cameras that she shouldn't have to move all the way to Houston to have surgery, and that Dr. Now should make special allowances for her for some reason, and Dr. Now clearly isn't happy about that.
I'm doing good. Thank you for taking my call.
Well, what's going on with you? Because it's been over 3 months since I saw you, and you haven't been by for your second appointment. So what's going on?
I'm having problems trying to find a place to live there, and a lot of hesitation in regards to moving.
Hold on, Angela. You haven't even been back to show me you hit the goal I gave you. And you're already coming up with excuses and missing your appointment without us even hearing from you. So you need to decide if doing this and saving your life is important enough for you, and whether you want to be part of the program or you don't want to be part of the program.
I do want to be part of the program.
Well, if you want to be part of the program, you need to keep your appointment and make sure that you show up. Instead of doing whatever you want, because you're not doing this on your timetable, that's not how it works. I gave you a goal of losing 40 pounds in 2 months. Yeah, it's a very easy goal, but not over 3 months. If you're actually sticking to that for that long, I would expect to see more progress to prove to me you're making any level of changes that you need. So over 3 months, your goal would be 60 pounds.
I've lost over 70 pounds.
Expecting you to just take your word for that?
Yes, sir.
So do you be able to go somewhere to weigh yourself? How do you know what your weight is?
Not that I know what my weight is, but I can now fit in my van. I now don't sit in my bed. I now go walk
and I don't sit in my house. We go out and leave the house every day, and I wasn't able to do that. Now I can.
So you're guessing you lost 70 pounds. I'm not sure how you can tell that without knowing your weight, but if you're confident you made that much progress, why couldn't you come and see us?
Angela just guessed she lost 70 pounds because she felt like it. Dr. Now was annoyed with Angela, but gave her the benefit of the doubt. However, after she continues to dodge his calls and pretty much just waste his time, he has a final talk with her, which leads to one of the most savage calls on the show.
Don't look like you have lost any weight, so you keep making excuses and not coming down here because you're not serious about it.
Okay, you say I don't look like I've lost any weight, but I feel like I've lost a lot of weight.
I think this is another lie you keep telling everyone, because if you have lost the weight, you wouldn't be avoiding coming back to show me your progress. And the most common cause of people when they don't show up for an appointment is because they haven't lost weight. And you're not any different than anybody else. And every time you miss your appointment, we haven't heard from you and you haven't called, so you're avoiding us. And the reason for that is right now I think you're buying time. Because what of the delusion you have convinced yourself of is that you're going to do it eventually. But eventually it never comes. And then one day your body gives out and that'll be it for you. So the real reason is not all these other excuses you give in. It is that you're playing games and trying to manipulate me in your situation.
That's not the reason whatsoever. That's not my excuse whatsoever. I've been on your diet since I left.
And despite this massive rant at Angela, he wasn't done yet and continued to tear into her and her absolutely awful attitude.
Wait, is that you have to do something about it. You have to do it. And you need to decide if you want to do that now. Because I'm giving you one more week to come back down so I can see if you're making progress or not. But if you're going to keep making excuses and try to avoid me, then I don't need to waste my time. And this is not going to work for you.
You said you want me to come in a week. So when I come in a week and you see that I have lost 120 pounds, then you'll see that I am serious and I have been serious. I am not like others. I'm not coming because I'm not losing weight. So I hope that you see I'm not lying when I get there.
Now you're claiming you lost 120 pounds since I saw you. Last month it was 70 pounds. So you're saying you lost another 50 pounds since then?
Yes, sir.
Then how come you don't look like it and you're still on oxygen?
I don't know, sir, but I have been following my diet and I'm doing great.
Angela, you're more delusional than I thought if you still think you can manipulate me. When it comes to this program, you're not special. And lying to me about your weight is not going to get me to tell you what you want. You have one option. If you want to do this and save your life, come back down here and show me where your weight is at.
Dr. Now telling Angela she isn't special should be the perfect wake-up call that she needs to get in shape or get kicked off the program. But unfortunately, she didn't listen. And not long after her episode aired, Angela died due to an obesity-related illness. And although Angela didn't lose the weight in time, Aaron did. But it wasn't without a kick up the arse from Dr. Now. Aaron featured in season 7 of the show, living in Texas, and is just 30 years old at the time of his episode. And without sounding too harsh, he lives an absolutely miserable existence, with the longest walk of the day being to his bathroom.
I dread waking up in the morning because it means I have to face my life for another day. Life is pure torture because I'm in so much pain from all my weight pulling down on my body.
From his episode, he does sound like a kind-hearted man, with his determination to wash himself because he wants to keep what shred of dignity he has left. Aaron lives as a caregiver with his very elderly father, who is a Vietnam War veteran, but it seems like the roles are reversed sometimes, because Aaron can't do basic things like go to the supermarket for his dad, instead just driving his dad there to do the shopping for him.
I don't say a thing to him about it. I just keep my mouth shut because I don't want him to get mad at me. Hi, how you doing?
Unfortunately, his dad is an enabler, but he's been put into an impossible situation. His dad is clearly old and sick himself, and the last thing he wants to do is argue with his 30-year-old son about food. Thankfully, it wouldn't be his dad who Aaron argues about food with Dr. Now agreeing to help with Aaron's weight loss. Despite Aaron living in Texas, he's still an almost 3-hour drive away from the doctor, but thankfully his sister agrees to take him, but not without a quick stop along the way. When he gets to the office, his weight is revealed to be 718 pounds, which is just absolutely mind-blowing, considering how young and how mobile he is.
30 years old.
Yes, sir.
And you weigh 718 pounds. That's extremely high. So what's going on with that?
Honestly, I don't have no excuse. Just
We're not asking for excuses. We're asking what's going on.
I have a lot of emotional eating issues.
Okay.
It all started when I was in school, so being picked on and bullied because of my size. And I would always just go to food for comfort, and it just progressed from there.
That doesn't make any sense. If you were picked on in school for your size, then you were already overweight. So how can you blame that for your overeating?
Well, food was what helped me with just anything emotional that would happen to me in my life. Any deaths, like my grandmother died or my mother dying, I would end up eating and causing myself to gain more weight.
So it sounds like any excuse you could find, you would use it to justify your overeating since you were a kid. When did you notice your weight was a problem?
I didn't really notice it until I was in middle school, where I couldn't fit in the regular desk chairs.
And you decided to just keep eating?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Dr. Now's already been pretty harsh with him, asking him why he'd continue to overeat if he couldn't fit into the chairs at school. But Dr. Now still takes Aaron as a patient, with the large goal of losing 120 pounds over 2 months. But as Aaron gets home, disaster happens, as his dad suffers a major heart attack. The worst part is, because Aaron is so big, he can't even go to the hospital with his dad, who might not make it. Honestly, this should be a major wake-up call to change your life around. The idea that you can't sit and be with your father who might die, all because you can't stop eating, should be the one major catalyst in changing your life. Thankfully, Aaron's dad does survive the heart attack, and understandably, this delays Aaron's follow-up with Dr. Now, and instead of being weighed at the 2-month mark, it isn't until the 3 months into the program that he gets weighed. When he finally steps onto the scales though, the amount of weight he's lost in that time is unbelievable.
The last time I was here, I was 718. That was 3 months ago, because I had to take an extra month with everything that happened with my dad. So if I made it to my goal today, it'll mean I'm at least below 598. That number is extremely disappointing to see. It's a loss, but not nearly what I thought it would be.
I think disappointing is a bit of an understatement, and Dr. Now agrees, as he shuts down Aaron's poor excuses.
Last time I saw you, you were 718. And you were supposed to lose 120 pounds in 2 months.
Yes, sir.
It's been 3 months, but today you're 696. You only lost 22 pounds in 3 months.
I'm struggling a little bit with what happened to my father. It was hard for me to deal with. And once he was recovering, I've been sticking to my diet as much as possible. I mean, I still have a little bit of problems with eating certain things like peanut butter. I'm having a hard time staying with peanut butter.
What do you mean, peanut butter?
Peanut butter on bread. It's just something I like eating.
Peanut butter on bread is not what kept you from losing weight. Your excuse is there. I'm sorry what you all went through, but that's no excuse to have not done the diet. And on top of that, it's been 3 months. You still had 2 months, even after all that, to do what you're supposed to. But you didn't. What is with that?
I don't know, sir.
What do you mean you don't know? You know exactly. You don't want to do the work. And you want to blame everything else for why you're not doing it. What's the point of that?
Don't know what to say, sir.
Aaron is clearly shell-shocked by the barrage that Dr. Now is sending his way, because he's just left speechless, and Aaron might have expected it to end there. But Dr. Now is ruthless and carries on his assault.
You want us to do something for you to lose weight, but you continue doing whatever you were doing before?
No, I don't want to do.
So how is that going to happen? How?
I'm going to change. I really am. I'm trying.
When are you going to change?
I'm in the process of changing, sir. I really am.
No, you're not. What we've given you is the first step to change. You either take it or you don't. The choice is up to you. You got it?
Yes, sir.
You know, for you to maintain weight of 696 pounds, you're still eating around 10,000 calories a day. That's not trying. That's not even close. So I'll give you 2 more months to lose 120 pounds. If you want to do this, then lose that weight. If you don't, then we don't need to waste more time playing games with you. Got it?
Yes, sir.
I love how straight to the point Dr. Now is. He doesn't lose his temper, he doesn't scream, he just lays out the facts as they are with a clear message that if you don't stop eating, you're going to die. And thankfully, this worked, as Aaron ended up losing an absolutely insane amount of weight. But his story didn't end without tragedy, as unfortunately, his father did end up passing away. But on the bright side, he did see his son finally lose over 300 pounds and get his life back on track. Now, just like Aaron, Margaret also had an enabler mother too, but unlike Aaron, Margaret's mother seemed to want to keep her daughter immobile. Now, if you're a subscriber of the channel, which 85% of you aren't by the way, so if you're in that 85%, maybe think about subscribing now. But if you are subscribed, you'll 100% know Margaret, as I crowned her as the biggest baby ever on my £600 life, and I think that was pretty justified. At 35 years old, 5'4" in height, and an absolutely insane 750 pounds, her episode starts a little bit differently to others, as Margaret actually starts her episode in hospital with Dr. Now, after a bad fall puts her there. Dr. Now questions how she got so fat, and Margaret gives the most childish excuse for her weight, saying that food pacifies her like a baby with a dummy.
Who takes care of you at home?
My mom.
So your mom has any weight problem?
She had the gastric bypass.
So she had gastric bypass. Why is she providing you too much food and keep you at this weight?
Because it's easier not to fight me and just pacify me.
So if she doesn't bring it to you, what happened?
I get mad at her and I tell her that she doesn't love me.
Okay, and so what do you think is going to happen to you if you continue that?
I'm gonna die.
Margaret saying she throws stuff when she doesn't get fed is literally like a baby throwing toys out of the pram, and her immature attitude will be present throughout the episode, with her constantly lying and chatting back to Dr. Now, who eventually loses his temper completely with her. Margaret's weight loss was doomed from the start really, and she was only on the show out of necessity, as neither her or her mother really wanted her to lose weight, constantly cheating the diet at home and even trying to send the physios away who came to help her. Even though she did lose 120 pounds in the first weigh-in, her second weigh-in she didn't lose anything. Margaret's mother tried to play it off like it was a big mystery, but we all know the truth of how you gain weight, and so does Dr. Now.
I'm disappointed
Well, what do you mean you're disappointed?
because I thought I would lose more than what I've lost.
Well, if you were doing your part, you would have lost 50 pounds this past one. So it looks like you backslid and you're not fully cooperating with PT. You refuse to do psychotherapy. So this isn't good, but you're still 626 pounds. And today is 107.5. You basically, both of you went back to your old habits.
What we did wrong. Still eating the same way. Yesterday she didn't
hold on right there, okay?
Overeating.
Just hold on. Like you don't know what is going on. There's a simple math. Eating too much, you're not gonna lose weight. It's very hard to understand that she's eating 4 times of what she should be eating. So why are we overeating and playing like we don't know what's going on?
But she didn't overeat. She's still eating.
You want to
the
argue
same.
that with the scale? Don't argue with me.
But she
you argue
didn't
that with the
overeat.
scale.
She couldn't overeat. I gave her proportioned meals, and it's the same as I've always given her. The only thing that we know that's different is she quit eating the vinaigrette and ate dressing.
She eat a gallon of honey mustard?
Now, I don't know how much she put on her salad.
The two.
But I can tell you that's the only difference.
It's hilarious seeing them trying to make excuses like having the honey mustard on her salad, and Dr. Now just telling her that that's an absolutely ridiculous excuse. Eventually, by some divine miracle, Margaret does actually get approved for weight loss surgery, which is carried out successfully. However, just like earlier, she refuses to partake in any physical activity.
She wasn't cooperating with her PT first 3 weeks, but we have got her at least occasionally doing some exercises. But she mostly just throws fits and tantrum, tries to manipulate for pain medicine, sleep all day and does nothing, and wants her mom to come take care of her. Things still not looking very optimistic with her yet.
And just from this voiceover, Dr. Now sounds like he's already getting tired of Margaret, and this was going to be proven very soon, as despite numerous attempts to get her out of bed and moving, which is really important after surgery, Margaret consistently ignores the doctors, which leads to Dr. Now giving her a stern reality check.
All the things indicate that you don't want to get better, you don't want to walk, you don't want to lose any weight, and you want to get pain medicine and all kind of narcotic and stay in the bed. So why are you doing all this? What do you mean by?
I'm not arguing with you.
Okay, it's not arguing, just answer the question.
I'm done talking.
You what?
I'm done talking.
You're not gonna talk because you don't want to admit it.
Oh, it's so true. Yes, it is.
Just answer the question and talk.
I have nothing to answer.
And don't lie about it.
I have nothing to answer.
Yeah, you have a lot to answer.
No, I don't.
Okay, we did the weight loss surgery on you, and you're responsible for your health.
Yep.
This is not in here to sit down and manipulate everything and get everything you want. You're abusing the system, and this is not the way that you're gonna scream and cry and get your way out of it. That is not the solution for your problem right now. So, are you gonna change, or do you wanna continue what you're doing right now? Be honest about it. Don't lie about it. If you wanna stay in bed and eat yourself to death and not walking and let everybody leave you alone and not do physical therapy, say so.
Margaret continues to ignore the doctor, who, remember, does genuinely have the best intentions at heart for Margaret, and she decides to embarrass herself further by crying and calling her mother on the phone after Dr. Now continues to tear her apart.
Just like, look, I'm not dealing with this.
What are you crying because you want to manipulate people to
Yeah,
agree?
okay, I've been able to the system. I did it all.
You're not going to be able to manipulate your way
I'm
around me.
I'm done. I'm not dealing with this.
Margaret, you may be able to manipulate other people to get what you want, but you're not going to be able to manipulate me. We did the surgery and we told you go home and keep working with PTE and psychotherapy. And then after a month, you stopped doing everything. You didn't show up, and now you just stay in the bed and not walk. And you haven't lost any weight. Which part of that is not true?
Come get me now. Come get me now. Yes, I don't care. I'm done. You either come get me, Mama, or I'm missing bigger. I don't want to get out of here. I'm done.
Dr. Now ripping Margaret apart to the point where she needs to cry and call her mother is probably one of the most savage moments on the show by Dr. Now, and one of the most embarrassing for a patient. And it's just made worse by how big of a baby Margaret is about it. Throughout her episode, Margaret constantly complained about being hungry, which is the same as Latona, who despite eating massive meals before her hospital visit, claimed she was starving, which ended in a savage put-down by Dr. Now. Before she meets Dr. Now though, Latona lives in Louisiana, and at 37 years old, she already weighs over 600 pounds, and when she wakes up, she can barely get out of bed because of her weight. And because of this, she has a caretaker, and the caretaker feeds her whatever she wants, no matter how big the meals are. Now, in my opinion, if someone has a caretaker, there needs to be clear limits on how much they can feed them. Because honestly, it's ridiculous that a caretaker is just expected to keep shoveling food into somebody who's already destroying themselves. This isn't really caring for them. Real care would be helping them get healthier, not just enabling them to eat more. But anyway, that's a different discussion. And someone who does want Latona to lose weight is Dr. Now. And when Latona's weight is revealed to be 632 pounds, Dr. Now reveals a shocking fact.
It here in the chart that you came in 5 years ago when you were 482 pounds, and now you're 631 pounds.
So Latona attempted weight loss 5 years ago, but instead she just gained over 100 pounds instead of losing any in that time frame. Dr. Now questioned her about this and asked her about her eating habit, because realistically she must be eating a ridiculous amount of food to put this weight on.
Your eating habit look like? When you usually wake up and when you usually start eating?
I wake up at like 10:30. I may eat breakfast at like 12 o'clock.
What do you usually eat?
Bacon, eggs, grits.
Are you hungry in the morning?
No, sir.
But if you're not hungry, you don't have to eat.
But the doctor told me that if I don't eat, then my metabolism is high or low or something like that.
Okay, let me tell you one thing. Everybody gonna confuse you, but you should never get confused about one thing, eat less.
Yes.
Okay? There's no confusion with that, okay? Now, if you really put the math together, you have eaten the food that belonged for the next 4 years ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So don't feel like you have to eat. Okay?
I got you.
Dr. Now telling Latona she's eaten enough food for 4 years is crazy, especially when you consider that 4 years worth of food at 2,000 calories a day is around 2.5 million calories. So Dr. Now gives her a weight loss program so she doesn't overeat again. But remember, she's failed this previously, so it shouldn't be a surprise that when she gets weighed at her second appointment, she weighs pretty much the exact same. Obviously, Dr. Now tries to wake her up, but Latona tries everything to deflect from the fact that she's going to eat herself to death.
You're worse off more than ever now because you're lying so much to yourself you believe that you lie. You keep repeating the same lie, doesn't come true. She expects to continue eating what she does, and I make her to lose weight, but that's not going to happen. So, this is a situation that it's all up to her to want to make the changes.
You think I want to come here, drive all that long time, come here just to get chewed out? I could have stayed at home for that.
We're not chewing it out. We're giving you the reality.
That is a reality. I mean, and you saying all that just to say, well, you know your fat ass need to lose weight. You in a wheelchair. You 37 years old. If you keep going the way you're going, you're not going to make it. That's basically all you have to say. And and I understand it. I'm not mad about what you're saying because it's right. It's true. The only thing that I need someone to understand is it's not as easy as people think it is. So it's not gonna happen overnight. I'm not a robot.
And Dr. Now just staring at her as she has a tantrum is hilarious because he knows how pathetic she's being. Just saying people don't know how hard it is when Dr. Now has seen hundreds, probably even thousands of patients her size and bigger lose weight. The truth is, she just can't be bothered to put any effort in. Dr. Now gives her another chance to lose weight. But midway through her journey, she goes to hospital complaining of unbearable pain in her legs. And during her hospital stay, she complains about the food which they are feeding her. And Dr. Now is quick to tell her to basically shut up and suck it up.
This, I didn't touch that.
Well, that's good. Good lunch.
I don't eat that. I don't eat beans at all. I don't even know what that is. And this look like dog food.
You don't like meat?
I don't eat stuff like this.
That's good nutrition, that's good protein, right?
I don't eat beans at all.
But how about the meat?
I don't eat that kind of meat. I haven't really ate nothing since I've been here.
You're not gonna fade away. You're gonna be fine.
I still have to eat something.
No. You're eating the food that belongs to the next 4 years ahead of time. So if you don't eat, you're gonna be all right. At your weight, body got the reserve that you don't eat anything for a week or two, you're not gonna have anything gonna happen.
But like in a hospital, when taking medication and having to take different medicine, you have to have food in your system to take the medicine, not to be nauseated. But the dog food that they give me here is not, I don't eat stuff like that.
And that's not dog food, that's very good food.
Well, I don't. Well, let me rephrase that.
You gotta learn to eat the high-protein diet. And is it tasty? And is it high protein?
I've been in this very uncomfortable bed. It's been cold in this hospital. I did not come this far for...
You're not in a hotel. You're in the hospital.
I know that.
Unfortunately, Latona did not pay back the extra 400 pounds of food stored in her body and died in May of 2025 due to obesity-related illnesses. Now, these moments were some of the best and most savage from Dr. Now, but if you want to see some of the biggest meltdowns by patients on the show, click the video that's on your screen now. Make sure you subscribe and you follow my Instagram at BigCraigYT. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.